What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another Cup of Conversation,
where we have conversations worth having.
I am your host, T.
And I'm your girl, Coco.
And we are back with another episode. This is part 2 of the last episode we left y'all off on last week when we were talking about social media. We still got our guest in the building. We got Nay on this side of me, and then we got Ricky. And we're going to roll right into it.
But I want to know how y'all feeling and how y'all dealing, because we did not do that.
We didn't do that.
Okay.
So let's start off our segment how we supposed to. How y'all feeling and how y'all dealing with y'all feels? We're going to start with you.
I'm feeling great, looking great.
Period.
I'm dealing with life, but life be lifing. But I mean, I'm a warrior, so I make it through. Push through. I'm a black woman.
I love that. Strong black woman.
Period.
What about you, Ricky? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Happy to be here. Happy that y'all have me back here. And, go hop right into it. That's what I'm feeling like doing today. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What y'all talking about. I'm
Getting
here.
into it.
Okay.
What about you? How you feeling?
I'm feeling beautiful. I'm feeling happy. I don't want to cry, but I'm feeling so
Don't
good.
tell people a little bit about
Yes, I am. Let me get to it. Hold on. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm feeling really good, y'all. Yesterday, me and my husband, we closed on 10 acres of land.
Well, congratulations.
Amen.
So
Congratulations.
I'm just so happy that
what they say on Breakfast Club, drop on a clues bun. Drop on a
for
clues
real.
bun for my girl.
So I'm feeling real good. How I'm dealing with it, I'm just staying focused. I'm not, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I just want to relish in the moment that I accomplished something first and don't be quick to like, okay, what's next? I want to sit in the moment like you did this, like you was working on this, you accomplished it. So I'm feeling really good and reminding myself to take it all in.
I love that.
How you doing?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a lot less anxious. I know I told y'all last week that I had a lot of stuff going on at work, but I feel like I'm standing in it like an adult and I'm taking the correct steps that I need to be taking. I'm not moving off of emotion. I'm really thinking about stuff, trying to have a little emotional intelligence behind that.
Love that.
Shout out to my girl Coco, because I'll go off. I'll take it there.
Look, and we need those checks for this podcast, so please don't take it there just yet.
But we do. We definitely need the checks. But definitely dealing with life, like you said, life be life, and so hey, you just got to put on your big girl panties and roll through it.
Right,
and that's what I'm doing. So let's get into our main topic for today.
Let's go.
The question that I have, and I want to start with, was: have y'all ever felt weird for not following societal norms that everybody seems to? And when I say societal norms, like, not having a baby before marriage, not moving in together before marriage, not, just societal norms that everybody kind of like put on us every day. Having a baby, women should have a baby before 30. Go to school after, move out your mama house by 18. All these different societal norms. Have y'all ever felt like, personally, like you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing because you're not following the norms?
Me? No.
No?
I never feel weird about what I do. I feel like everything that I do, it was written in the book for me to do.
Okay. I love that. It's simple. What about you, Ricky?
Have I ever felt weird? I mean, just like ever in life? Yeah, probably when I was like 11 or 12, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I was weird before being weird was cool. I'm talking about not weird, like skinny jean weird or how people is today weird. I'm talking about just being different.
Yeah.
And, once I embraced it, I never felt like that again. I just embraced being different. Like, shoot, no two people are exactly the same. We all have our own thumbprint, fingerprint. So, that's cool.
I would agree. I never felt weird about not conforming. Just this situation now, like a lot of people around me, my age, have already like bought homes and stuff like that. I knew from an early age that I didn't desire to do certain things when it comes to like buying a house, like paying $450,000, not having no neighbors. I mean, having neighbors like right here by you, or just doing it to say that before 30 you have a house and this and that. I never felt no type of way because I always, kind of like Nate said, I always knew what I wanted out of life, and I always knew that God would give me the desires of my heart. And so I always just stuck to what I had to do to get the desires of my heart, not what nobody else had going on. So I don't think I ever felt pressured into it. If I did feel pressured into a societal norm, it wasn't because of what society was telling me. It's because of the expectation that I had for myself. and it might have aligned with a societal norm.
Gotcha. I got you.
Yeah.
For me, I think I'll be the first to admit that I think I felt some societal pressures, just with things that I felt like I should be doing by this time or by this age or whatever the case may be. But just getting to know myself more over my 20s and learning, I'm doing what I like to do, what I want to do. Like people say, you know, don't move in before you get with each other before you get married. And even though that's something that I've done, I wouldn't say that that's something that I would advise. You know what I mean? So I see why the norm is to not do certain things. Just because you do it and you've done it doesn't mean that's the right way to go or that's the way that you would do it again if you had another chance to do it. So I just think that social media now puts a lot, because you know we have the gender wars on there, the whole men's supposed to do this, women's supposed to do this. If you're in your feminine energy, this is how you're supposed to act. So I think social media kind of boosts that a little bit into people thinking what they should or shouldn't be doing. So y'all say y'all don't feel those pressures at all?
No.
Nah.
I mean, it's not that I don't feel the pressures of it. I feel like I just make the conscious decision to do what I need to do for me all the time. Like, even if I hear it, I can't act like, oh, you hear something, you don't think about it or take it in. But even if I take it in, I still ultimately, I'm always going to come out with what do you want though? Like, even if I do see something and I'm like inspired by it or something like that, I always ask myself like, but is this what you really want, or is what you saying you might want because you seeing it, type of thing.
Kind of how you said our last episode, what is the difference between being inspired by something and trying to follow a norm or a societal, you know, measurement that you don't measure up to, or you don't necessarily care to like, or this is not something that you want to do? What do y'all feel like the difference is between the two?
Being authentic and honest with yourself.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah,
you got to be honest with yourself, because I mean, if you don't, who will, for real? Like, and also, you know, us as women, we've always been raised to, you know, have babies when you married and move in when you married and stuff like that. But sometimes it's a whole lot of married single women, for real, single mothers, for real. So it's just like everything that they have told us or have taught to us, sometimes it's not always true. It's not always true, because, I mean, you know, life happens and feelings change. Things change in certain situations, and that don't always mean that it's the right thing to do.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like we are living in a different time, but we still trying to go by a older standard.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are trying to keep up with what masculinity and femininity look like in the 60s or something like that. What women or men should be doing, what they did back in the days. And that makes sense that you want to structure your home like that or whatever. But I remember you saying on our last episode, why can't I be, you know, the soft damsel in distress, take care of me, you know, feminine type of woman, without people feeling like, oh, she just want to be a gold digger. She lazy, or she want to sit back and do X, Y, and Z. Like, is that not a norm for women? Is that not a thing for us?
But so that's the norm that I feel like I've went against, because I feel like the norm for women now is to be independent, strong, bossed up chicks. And I'm not gonna say that I haven't been both. I feel like I've been both, but I've been both because I feel like in a time in my life I wanted to be that, and then and when I realized it ain't what I would when I was that, and I didn't feel like I was being the best version of myself, I said, oh no, I don't want to be that. Like, and I think too, societal norms and not being pressured to them also comes to a point. So when you keep it real with yourself and you say, whether I'm going to jump in or I'm going to jump out. For whatever reason, whether the reason be the right reason or not, that's left up to you to decide, you know, as time progresses or whatever. But I feel like knowing when to say I'm for this or I'm not is just keeping it real with yourself. It's some societal norms that you might start off like, oh yeah, I'm with that. And then you get in it and you be like, nah, really, that don't fit my personality. That's not who I am. Or I done changed in the last few years and that ain't really who I am no more. And you got to be okay with changing that and not worrying about what people say. Well, you was just saying da-da-da-da. Well, today I ain't saying that.
Yeah.
You know?
What did Erykah Badu say this? So it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah. What
Ricky,
you got to say? Because you looking. Because I was personally not looking at you because why you looking like that?
No, because I'm just thinking about this particular topic right here. With me being the only man on the panel right here, I'm starting to think like this might be the part I get jumped because I'm definitely probably step out of societal norm when it comes to a lot of different opinions about things.
Speak on it.
So I think that we are alike in many ways, but of course we different in so many ways too when it comes to men and women. But I think, a lot of times you just got to go with works for you, and you have to be okay with stepping out of societal norms at times, because if you worried about what other people think, whether you are a man or a woman, you will never be happy. You can't make everybody happy. If you a woman and you feel a certain way, you have a complete right to feel that way. But at the same time, if you a man and you feel a certain way, you okay to feel that certain way too. You should never be pressured by social media or women and be like, hey, this the way you gotta be. Who did God put in charge, to determine what's the societal norm? Who did he get a pamphlet to? I want to meet them and say, who made the rule? So this is the way that it has to be. So I know a lot of times a word that has become real popular on social media is sassy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women, as soon as a man have a different opinion and what the woman say, or what, not every woman, but a certain type of woman say, because they want to be accepted by this type of woman, they can't feel this kind of way because they gonna be deemed as sassy. Yeah. Which I agree, a lot of men is sassy out there, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying with everything is not sassy just because we share some of the same emotions, whether you're a male or a female. Right. Take Valentine's, for instance. A lot of women want diamonds, right? Shit, men like diamonds too. Do that mean he's sassy? No. No, you know what I'm saying? No. So,
I mean, we ain't gonna jump you on that, Rick, because I fully agree. So I ain't gonna jump you on that one too.
Thank you. I think that what he said is a societal norm in itself. It has been the societal norm that if you're a man, this is how a man acts. You macho. Yeah, you don't show emotion. You don't want anything more than what you can give.
You don't speak out on your feelings. Yeah. You don't complain about stuff. You just take it to the chin. And as a man that people expect to be a provider and all this, how do you feel about when women ask for emotional intelligence and then call it sassy? Like, how does that translate to y'all? Do y'all feel like opening up to women, or do y'all feel like it's not a safe space?
I mean, if you're really masculine, it shouldn't matter. I think when you really start giving a damn into where it's like affecting you emotionally, shit, you is being sassy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So a woman is gonna be a woman at the end of the day, and a woman's feelings are valid. If she feel a certain way, like you say, you might feel one way right now, and then you don't feel that way no more. Yeah. Where in that moment, if you feeling like that, you have the right to feel like that. Yeah. That shouldn't affect me how I am as a man. And I think that's if you're a real masculine man and comfortable in your skin, then you should be okay with a woman being a woman.
Yeah. So do you think, for kind of like what T just said, do you think that when you, how can I put this? When you are a man, because men, like women are emotional. We have that. So we change. We have seasons. Our cycle in itself is a season. It's a representation of a season in that month or whatever the case. Yeah. So that's our norm, right? But for men, the norm is it the norm for men? Because I know men are logical. Right. They're logical thinkers. They think about things in a logical perspective before they think the emotion into it. So do you think it's a thing that you have to tell yourself, to remind yourself to be emotional? Like, you know what I'm saying? Men don't have to come off as sassy or as weak because naturally they don't think that way. So is it a thing that you have to say, let me get into my emotions? Because like women, we have to get into logic. Okay, I know what you're talking about, but right now I'm mad. Or right now I'm sad. I'm crying right now. I don't care about how A plus B equals C. I don't care right now. But for men, because y'all think A plus B equals C or whatever, do you have to make yourself be emotional? Like,
no, not at all. It's all a human experience. We all share the same emotions, whether it's sadness, whether it's grief, whether it's joy, happiness. We all share those human experiences, whether you're a male or a female. Now, how you handle it, you might have to check yourself on that, you know, as far
okay.
as your emotional intelligence, you know, because you don't quite naturally, you don't want to respond how a woman responds.
Yeah.
Is it possible that you might do that? Yes, if you're not emotionally intelligent. Yes,
Yeah.
if you haven't been raised by a man to show you how to cultivate those emotions and feelings properly, it can come off that way. So when you do see men doing it, it's probably because they lack that emotional intelligence or they lack that guidance from another man to show them how to lead that way or to be that way. You know, that's where, you know, it comes, you know, a lot of mothers, single mothers raise men,
Yeah.
and you will see those young men
Those
respond
traits.
and act differently
More emotional.
than a man who was in
raised
a
by a man.
household or, you
Yeah.
know, he was raised by a man.
I agree with that because I don't know. Y'all do naturally lead off of logic and stuff. Cause like, for example, if we was to be talking about something in here right now and I start crying, Coco gonna start crying, Nay gonna start crying. You're definitely not gonna cry. Like
He gonna be like, well, think about it like this. Though.
Yeah. He gonna still be able to talk through the emotion.
I'm
Like
gonna
he
be
gonna
like,
still be able
why
to.
y'all crying? How can we fix it?
Yeah, he gonna
right.
still be able to talk through the emotion. I tell my boyfriend that all the time because he laugh at me when we watching shows and I see a woman on there crying and I'm like, damn, here I go. Because it's
Yeah.
finna happen
Yeah.
again. Like, y'all really attack the situation with a
Different.
totally different mindset. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just be wondering how do y'all know to turn it on? Like that, like you asked, like, do you gotta turn it on? Like, is it a point where
I don't think men have to turn it on. I think that they have to be compassionate about it in order for them to feel any emotion about it. Like they have to actually love
Really
it
be-
in order for they heart have to be in it.
Yeah.
And it takes a while for men heart to be into things. Like they don't off the back, oh, I just love this. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like they gotta really get to know this. And that's when the emotional part comes in. I personally don't think that it's like an on and off switch. Like
And I think that is so true because
it is?
it's very true. Oh my God, because for example, me and my husband, our relationship started out really well. But when we got married, it was like the devil met us on our wedding day. Like, you know what I'm saying? And with the disagreement that we had and the problems that we had, I could see how less vulnerable my husband turned into being. Like he didn't feel like I was a safe place for him to even display. He told me a while back, like probably a month ago too, he was like, you know, and during that time, it was hard for me. He was like, you felt like I didn't feel the same way as you. But it was hard for me to even feel like that because I had to deal with the part of you feeling like I didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I had to show, like, he was like, I didn't even know how to be vulnerable with you, like, and
Because he was too busy combating.
with and
You
so,
trying to say he don't feel like that.
exactly, and when they just said like they have to be in a place too where they can feel like once I tell you this, it won't be as I'm a bitch ass nigga, I'm a pussy ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? You have to be in a place to where ain't shit wrong with your ass. Like you have to be in a place where you ain't like that. Like too, for them to be able to be comfortable with talking about emotional stuff with you, or you know, and it leaving the conversation and it not going nowhere negative. Like,
Ricky, I know you can't speak for all men, but can you kind of give us a little insight on what it feels like, or what takes y'all to that emotional part? Like, what part of the relationship or friendship or whatever it is that y'all cross, or what boundary that y'all get to where y'all feel like, okay, now I feel like this is a safe space, or now if somebody passed away, I know I can cry in front of this person. You know, just bring out that emotional side of y'all.
what does that person look like?
Yeah. Or what kind of space do they create? What it kind of...
Well, I would say first and foremost, a person who's not selfish. You know what I mean? Anytime you see a woman who's all about her, she obviously don't give a damn about you. You know what I mean? So why would you even express your emotions or be vulnerable around her about anything?
Yeah.
Right.
And that starts from the smallest things.
Yeah.
That starts from, baby, have you ate today?
Yeah.
Like, or, hey, can you go get me something to eat? Why it's all about you? You know, you don't even call to text somebody happy birthday on their birthday, but when it's your birthday, it's all about you. These little small things like that shows somebody who don't really care about you. They really selfish. So why would a man be vulnerable or open up emotionally about anything? I don't think that most men would do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last part of my topic, we did this thing during the live show where we kind of gave like scenarios or statements, and then y'all tell whether y'all agree or disagree. If everybody agree, we go to the next one. If we got somebody that disagree, we kind of have a little talk about it, a little debate. So for societal norms, the first one I got on here is marriage before kids. Y'all agree that that's how it should work?
Yes.
Or if you would do it again, that's how you would do it?
It should.
I mean, me personally, no.
No?
No.
You disagree?
Yeah, I disagree.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Yeah.
You
disagreed. What we disagreeing to? Wait.
marriage before kids.
I'm saying that it should be that way.
Okay.
Oh, y'all saying it shouldn't.
It
Yeah,
shouldn't.
I'm saying it shouldn't.
Okay.
I'ma say I agree. And since we got some difference of
Right.
opinions over here, for me, I would say I agree because I did come from a family that wasn't married before kids, and I feel like it brings a certain dynamic within the family that shows a young child what love is. And it doesn't always end up that way, because it doesn't have, the marriage ain't got to be good just because y'all married.
Right.
So it doesn't always end up that way, but I feel like it's always a lesson a child, even if it's bad, it's a lesson a child can learn, but by watching it. I didn't even get the option to try to learn that lesson, because all I'm watching my mama do is hustle.
yeah.
I ain't watch her do nothing lovey. You know what I mean? Like, unless it was towards us. And I know how it looks to love on innocent children. I could do that perfectly. But to love on somebody who, I just chose to be with, or who's not always right, or who's not always my perfect comparison, that's different. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's important to children coming up. I don't know. What you think?
What I feel like, it's important for children to actually see their mother getting loved correctly, because if she's with a man who's not loving her correctly, then that man shouldn't really be around at all, especially if she's raising children. My children, I have 2 boys, and they have a stepdad, which he's been in their life for 5 years. My son is 5 years old.
Right.
And they've learned more from him on how to,
Love
how to do
correctly.
anything.
Yeah.
How to do literally tie their shoes, how to, have emotional intelligence and stuff like that, which was things that I cannot teach them because they're boys.
Right.
How to toughen up. When my boyfriend met my son was only 3 years old, and my son was more so, he was like, the shy guy. Oh, girl, now he out of his shell. You know what I'm saying? Like, he more so like, he's a big boy now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it doesn't matter if you're married or not. If you have kids, like I said before, it's a lot of single mothers that's married.
Yeah.
That's raising their kids.
True.
All right, hear me out. For those who disagree with this, why I say I think you don't have to be married to have kids. First and foremost, let me say this. I think family is very important. The structure of family is very important. If you look at statistics right now, over 85% of males in prison, they didn't have
Family structure.
father present there in a household. Most of those men are black men. So I do think it's very important for a father to be present in the household. Does that have anything to do with marriage? No, it doesn't. So I believe that you can get the same dynamics of a good family and everything that it brings to the household without necessarily being married. You understand what I'm saying? Not only that, but you can get married to somebody. It's just a contract. I hate to say it like that because it's more than that.
Coco hate when people say it
I
like
know.
that.
I'm just saying. That's why I say I hate to say it like that, but I mean it in this way. You can get married and then just get a divorce.
Yeah.
When you have a child with somebody, that's almost a bigger commitment than a marriage contract because you're not getting out of that. Even if after 18 years, that child graduates and everything, you still need to have some contact with that child's mother at some point because now maybe the child is getting married themselves or maybe this child is passing on, transitioning, dying or something like that. You need to have contact with the child's parent. So for me, I think having a child with somebody, actually planting the seed and, nurturing that seed, that's a bigger, you can't get out of it. I mean, you can, but there's that's worse than a divorce. You know what I'm saying? If you're not there for your child, you understand? So for me, I think I know that's one of those things. Do you ever feel weird about, you know, not the society norm? I know that's completely out of society's norm, but that's just my opinion on it.
Okay. What about you?
So I first want to say I believe that the reason I say that it's important is because I view marriage from a different perspective. Marriage for me, I don't look at it as something that is easy to get out of, for one. For two, I also look at marriage as it's not just a contract for me. For me, it's a vow that I made to God, and it's a vow that my husband made to God to say that we're getting married to be fruitful and multiply, and not to be talking about having kids. I'm talking about showing kids, because a marriage is a representation of what Christ did for us. And so the reason I think it's important is because I want that to resemble in my household. I want that to be a parent in my house. I want that to be. I don't want my. And I'm coming from a spiritual standpoint. I don't want my child to think it's okay to be in fornication. Mm-hmm. I want my child to know that when you love somebody, it's sacrificial, it's real. Mm-hmm. It's not something that can be easily broken. It's a covenant that you made with God. And the reason I have integrity in my marriage, and I'm showing you how I can be with somebody and create a life with somebody and be real with that person for a long term, beyond a divorce, beyond or whatever. Yes, you can get a divorce, things happen, but I'm not going into it with that mindset. I'm going into it with, this is something that I promise God that I will honor and I will take serious. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I want my daughter to have somebody like my husband when she gets older, and in order for her to be able to have that, I need to she got to see that. Yeah. And so yes, it can be bad, but I also want my daughter to be able to see when it does get bad, what we do. We falling on our face. We in prayer. We trying to make it right. We owning up to what we did wrong, and we fixing it. We making it right. So I feel like it's a daily it's like a daily example of what Christ did for us and what he's still doing for us every day. You know what I'm saying? What God did for us. So that's why I take it serious. I do know that you can be in a relationship and you can be healthy and have kids and not be married. But for me, it was a step of, I'm taking this serious than just being in the house with you.
It's like an extra step.
It's an extra step. It's an extra protection. It's like you getting car insurance on your car. You ain't taking your Bentley, your Rolls Royce out here, and then somebody hit it, and you don't got no type of protection type of thing. So it's also a protection for our legacy, the things that we build, and we just bought 10 acres. I would hate for my daughter to have to be worried about, who own it? Is it yours? Is it when my daddy died? Do I get it? Like I want to protect that. So I feel like marriage is a form of protection, and I feel like God created it because He wanted us to have more children. Not, like I said, not to have children, but to be examples of what Christ is like in the world.
I used to feel like that, and then I started researching, and I realized nowhere. Because you're talking about from a spirit, it sounds like Christianity, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So I realized I was raised a Christian as well. Mm-hmm. Nowhere in the Bible does it tell you to get married. It has examples of that, of Christ, treating the, household as Christ treated the church and things like that. But it never was instructed to get married. It speaks on fornication, fornication, everything like that. But it never really said, hey, get married.
I don't think that everybody has to get married.
Yeah, but I don't think that's
everybody doesn't have to get married. But it's almost like saying this: when you're a boss of something, like if you're a boss at your job, you have certain privileges that the employees might not have, right? So I feel like having children was a privilege that He gave to people that did decide to get married. He didn't say that you had to get married. He didn't force anybody to say you have to get married. No, but He gave instructions to people that if they decided to get married, this is the instructions for you. So that's why I abide by those instructions. So that's what I'm saying from that perspective. If you don't get married, then that's fine. But he gave sex to married people. He wanted, and I feel like that's important because the things that you experience through sex and the things that happen through having sex with people. I gave this example before when my daddy had a daughter when he was 15 years old, before he met my mama. And my sister is like 40-something years old. Mind you, I had never met my sister probably until I was maybe in middle school, like face-to-face. Maybe a little bit before that, face-to-face. But I feel like because my dad had his daughter before he got married to my mother, it made it very difficult. It had difficult situations that he had to encounter because of that situation. And I also think that it made it difficult for us to build the type of relationship that we should have had in the house together, and the things that we should have seen and the things that we should have been accustomed to as siblings. It made it hard because of that situation. Yeah. So I think that it's not that it can't happen, but it does it makes it very hard. You get what I'm saying? Because although like you in a situation with your son and outside of that situation, like, because you had those kids first and now you found somebody that you probably gonna get married to one day, right? Or if you desire that still puts a conversation there.
It does.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So my point is not to say, oh, don't ever have kids before marriage because it's the wrong thing to do. It's just me eliminating the questions. Yeah. I'm protecting myself. I'm protecting myself and my future kids by saying, let me make the best decision possible. Would it be wise to just be in this relationship if I don't know if this man really care for me like that? Yeah. I feel like when my husband asked me to marry me, he told me, he said, I did this because this is what I wanted my child to see. I ain't had this growing up. I didn't have and I feel like this was my way to display that I'm with you for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not just gonna be us in the house. We can leave. We got our discretion. No, we need to make an honor to somebody bigger than us. So I think that's why I think it's serious.
Yeah.
But pause, that part right there. Like people who get married or propose or whatever to say, hey, this is serious. I'm showing you that I really want to be with you. But then they get in a relationship, you actually get married, had a big, wedding and everything. Then you go home and they don't even treat you the way that they're supposed to treat you. Not talking about you personally. Yeah. I'm just talking about all those people out there who might be in an abusive relationship. Yeah.
They're not following
fathers
the steps
might be molesting the kids. They're not even sleeping in the same bed.
Well, that can happen without a marriage.
All kind, but you can walk away for it. Like you say, a marriage is hard to get out of.
But you can walk away from it still. But it's all gonna boil down to this. It's all gonna boil down to accountability. If I get into a marriage and I go home and I know I'm getting abused and this and that, then there's some level of something we need to fix, right?
Really on both ends.
No, sometimes why fix stuff? Why not walk away?
No, I'm talking about
you think
whatever.
People get in marriages and be like, oh, now we married this forever. We ain't nobody going nowhere.
No, it don't work like that.
Like that.
I do. I believe I'm 100% with you on that, and I feel like the thing about it is you have to have something bigger than you. It just can't be, oh, well, we gonna fix it. The reason I say we gonna fix this is because whatever the fixing is, it don't have to be staying. Fixing don't mean staying. Fixing meaning we not compatible. Yeah, we just made a vow at the altar, but we not equally yoked. The person that you submit to is not the person that I submit to.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's relationships like that. People go into it thinking, oh, we love each other so much, we just get together. That's why I say my perspective comes from a different place. So with that, I hold it to a different regard and I have to submit to a different person. So if we get in a marriage and you abusing me, that's letting me know that you don't submit to the same guy that I submit to, because the same guy that I submit to don't condone abuse.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we need to fix it, and that means we probably need to get a divorce, or you need to say, you know what, I'm gonna surrender my life to something different. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that everybody gotta surrender their life to Jesus. That's your decision that you're making in your life, in your walk. But my thing is, it has to be something that's gonna give you
alignment,
and not just alignment with the wrong, but alignment with what's healthy. What is healthy? We can take this out of spirituality. What's practical? Real health. Like what's good for my health? Is it good for me to be in a toxic relationship, my health wise? Is it good for me to let my kids see a man beat on me health wise? Let's keep it real too. Let's not just get lost in the spirituality of it. Let's be practical and say, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe that it's more than one way to look at something. I'm not going to be no one-dimensional person like, well, God said we got to stay in this relationship and I'm going to just keep praying. No, let's be practical about it, because sometimes you can be so spiritual that you don't look at the practical things that you need to do, things that you need to break down in your life. You get what I'm saying? And you need to step away from and break severs with, Yeah. So I think that, that's a lot. That question is packed, but that's why I believe what I believe. But I respect y'all. It's
okay. My next one is I'm only gonna do one more. Men should be the sole provider.
No.
You disagree?
No, because you meet men in different walks of life. So, you know, sometimes he might be a good man, but he might not have no money.
I'm going last. Coco? I mean, let's go to Ricky. You guess.
I mean, it depends on what works for you. Right now, I believe the median like household income in Houston, Texas, average median is like $101,000. That's 2 incomes combined. Now, the median household expense for like a family of 4, it might be like 68,000, I think, something like that. So when you combine it and say you just have one person paying it, and this is not including entertainment, clothes, or nothing like that. I mean, you basically go be broke, or one person is pocketing all the money while the household is broke. You know what I mean? So I think what works for you and what works for each couple is better. Now, you know, societal norm, you might have a lot of men out there saying, no, you shouldn't be going 50-50. A man is supposed to provide everything. I'm going to just keep it 100. A lot of, you know, I might upset a lot of people out there. I think any man who feel like that, he probably got a low self-esteem. He is controlling, or he got mommy issues. You know what I'm saying? I hate to talk about anybody's mama because, you know what I'm saying, I don't no longer have mine, but I know one thing that she did instill in me was love. You know what I'm saying? You got to love yourself. And I don't think any mother is going to teach their child, hey, you working at Whataburger, after you get paid, go get that girl all your money. You know what I'm saying? So the same way a lot of women have daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? Their daddy went there, so they looking for love in all the wrong places. These men, they looking for, quote unquote, a bad bitch who taking all their money because they want to keep up with societal norm or boost their self-esteem up. You know, but at the same time, you know, you're supposed to do, you know, for your woman. And I'm not saying don't do for your woman and nothing like that, but, you know, you just got to do what works for you.
Coco?
Do I believe that somebody mean the only person that pay bills? I don't think that that's what it should be. I feel like that I look at this question weird, I guess, because I feel like yes, to provide financially, yes, but I think that like you said, we in a time where it's not always like that. I think it's about what your situation is. So if you in a situation to where you can be the sole financial provider, that's what I would like. I would love that. If we not in that situation, then we doing what we got to do to get to that situation. I mean, that's the in between, I guess. And so, and when people say man should be the sole provider, I think that we get so hung up on like the finances part that we forget the other aspects that a family and a household needs from a man to provide, because we leave it at financial, but we need you to provide emotional intelligence. We need you to provide spiritual guidance. We need you to provide integrity. We need you to provide a lot of self-care. We need you to provide all of those things. So I think that you can't just speak on what a man should provide solely just keeping it at financial part, because if you're not providing any of those other aspects, it's going to be very hard to even be able to provide only financially.
Exactly.
So
they lacking in the other areas if they only
they lacking in some other area, and they probably not whole if they having to stretch themselves in only that capacity.
Right. I agree. I would say what you just said in a nutshell. If you can, I see people who can and complain about, you know, not having help. But if you can, if you are in that 1-2% of people who can take care of the full household without, you know, leaving your daughter hanging at her volleyball game or whatever, you could still make it to all that. You could do all that and still be financially responsible. Yeah, do it. But if not, do what works for your household. Try to lighten the load on your woman, because at the end of the day, the woman does have different type of responsibilities than men, especially when it comes to being emotional, the emotional bandwidth of the household. Like you the one who's taking on the kids' emotion. You might listen to your man vent when he get home from work from being a provider or whatever. So I think we pay in ways that's not tangible. So it doesn't look like women are providing a lot, but you got to consider all those things and then still try to take more of the, you know, strenuous load of it. just because you the man. Like that's
right.
we expect. I mean, I'll be lying if I didn't say I expect certain shit from men. Like that's just one of the things.
And I think
that I
as men, because they are natural leaders, I think that's the role of a leader. Like you're gonna take the brunt of like the responsibility first. Now do you communicate that when you need help? Then like that's what men are. They solution based. They ain't gonna sit and cry with you. They gonna give you a solution. Either we can do this or we can do this. So I think that men, it's just like a natural thing. Like
it should be.
It should be a natural thing. But I think that when you have all of the working parts,
are getting taught different these days.
But and two, I like to live my household. Be personally, this me. I like to look at what value you have, and that's
what you good at,
what you have value in, and moving off of that. Like let's move off of how much value. If I have value in organization or like I have value in teaching. I go to work. My money is used in our household. Now, does it pay our rent or will it be paying our mortgage now or our light bill? No, but I pay dance fees. I pay dance fees. Cost, like stuff that I know that my man pay all these bills at home. I'm not asking him about buying no bowls.
Right.
I'm not asking him about buying no. You know what I'm saying? Certain things. So. Is he solely the provider? I don't know what that would mean because he not solely the provider because my money is still being used on some of these things in his household. But is he taking the brunt of the responsibility? Yeah, but
he should.
Could he? If he couldn't though, he would also communicate, baby, hey, this next check you get, I'm gonna need you to pass me, and I'm not gonna look at him no different because I know that that's not his intention to just live off of me. His intention is to move our family forward. So you also have to know the intentions of your spouse and know what y'all trying to build together. Because ultimately, y'all building this together. It ain't just him trying to drag y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it too.
Okay, let's get into our last sip. You pick you one. I'm gonna pick me one.
Let me pass it. Did I get a good one?
I hope so.
What, T? You ain't get a good one?
I got a Go, Nay.
Is it cheating if it's just emotional but not physical? Yes. I think emotional is more worse than physical.
You think so?
Yeah, of course. Especially when it's coming from a woman.
Yeah. That means you already a little...
Yeah, you already out, kind of out the door.
You're a little checked out. You're a little checked out, especially when it come from us. Mine say is hooking up without a commitment a blessing or a lesson? Without a commitment,
hooking up like having sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's risky.
That is risque. But if y'all are both single and y'all are dating,
just so we clear, women do that. For those who don't know,
absolutely,
women definitely does that.
Absolutely, it's some niggas in my DMs from college. Like, why did you do that? That's because look.
Yeah, that was
you met me in the wrong era, baby. I got you and I left you, baby. That was where you stood, right there at PV. But at this big age, I think it's just more of a risk than it is a blessing. I don't think you're gonna come out on the other side and find your Prince Charming from no shit like that.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to you, ladies. I don't see that being a happy ending.
Mm-hmm. Okay, mine says, is it okay to check your partner's phone? I would say no, because the bigger issue is why he giving you the feeling that you gotta check his phone.
Right? Yeah,
and we need to talk about that because it don't even matter what's in the phone if you got the feeling of needing to.
You already think because it could be gone by now.
Exactly. If you got the feeling of needing to, then it's another conversation that need to be had.
Right.
Ricky?
Mine says sexting, harmless fun, or recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for disaster.
Facts.
Wait, are we talking about sexting your partner or sexting somebody outside of your partner?
I wouldn't give a damn. The T-page is real.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I mean, sexting. You're sexting.
They can keep them forever.
Oh, like your own, like you wouldn't sex, you don't sex Bubba?
No. he can see this ass when I walk through the house.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Right.
all the time. Like, nah.
Like even like if
somebody
your
know.
man on vacation for a while or no. Oh, okay.
I ain't taking
But
no
I
coochie
think the
pictures.
question it was like other people though, right?
Right.
Not
Outside of your spouse?
not
Right.
your partner.
I guess that would be for. I guess
Definitely
that would
no.
be more for a single
no.
like person. Like if you dating around.
Oh, you dating
Is
around.
that something that you would do in the dating stage? Because right now,
no.
of course, yeah, I feel like we would all be okay with sending a little pic.
Can't wait to see you. We can't wait to see you when you get like I don't know.
Some, a little pic would. I mean,
ain't
I
doing
still don't see myself doing it.
No, I definitely wouldn't do no stuff like that.
Not that I don't trust my partner. I just don't see it necessary.
Pictures just don't delete. Like they can send it to anybody else, especially if they not serious about you. Like,
Oh yeah,
they
in the
wouldn't
dating
mind.
stage, no,
Like,
I
yeah,
would
in the dating
never.
stage.
I would never.
No.
I literally probably within this year have ever done that. I just trying to spice it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just when you get home is waiting. So I don't know, but but
Not I got this waiting on you.
but you're right. People can't see because he was like I was showing somebody some credit stuff on my phone, and then I'm just thinking you texting me. He was like
And you done opened up the picture and ass and I see.
But
You
yeah,
ain't sexting, Ricky.
Oh,
In the dating stage, I'm not saying to your woman right now because y'all might
in the
do a
dating-
little spicy right
in
now.
the dating stage, of course, and it was always a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's gonna lead to something. Like that's the whole point of sexting. It's so it can lead up to something that's kind of like the appetizer for the main entree. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to get there if you're doing some sexting.
Yeah, you ain't doing it without no intent
Right.
at all. Well, we love having y'all come up here in this little panel discussion. I think we had some very insightful conversations today,
Yes.
and yeah,
I loved it. It was good.
I like it. I like
it was a little combative, and I liked it.
I like it. I like that. I don't like when people
Because
agree
we
with
be
us on
agreeing.
this
Me and
couch
T be
all the
always
time.
agreeing with everything.
Yeah, I try to make
Give
it
me
a little bit combative.
pushback. Yeah. Give me a little
A little
and then we had a little pushback from the women's side and the men's side. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Y'all wait till we get. I'm telling you, wait till we get our little line up. It's gonna get deep. These just y'all. We just scratching the surface of having a little panel. But if y'all like what y'all seeing, and if y'all like being a part of this, we can really
Yes.
get into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I
we're gonna
like
get
it.
y'all
It's
some
cool.
more people to get. I wanna see who the people vote like we
Who
had
they
another,
like.
if they like Ricky and Nay. Okay, boom. Kind of like how they do on the other shows where they
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, I like Bring Our Trip, Bring
Yeah,
Out like
yeah,
people
yeah,
like
yeah.
people like stuff like that. So yeah, this was really good. So
We'll
make
let
sure
y'all know where to find everybody. Like, subscribe. Make sure
Yes.
y'all check out both of them, Instagram, TikTok. We'll have them in the description. And we'll see y'all next week. Deuces.
Conversation, gonna give you what you need. Tune in every week. I got you, I got you, I got you.